Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, alegria, and a boa semana. It's Monday the 26th. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Let me do that again. It's Monday the 23rd, not the 26th. Relax, everybody. The month of June is going by quickly, but not that quickly. The 20th. All right, let's do that one more time just for the sake of clarity. The 23rd, we have passed the solstice, it has to be said, and we had a great party to celebrate that on Saturday night. 23rd of June, 2025, and it is what, the fourth, is it the fourth Monday of the month? I think it must be. We've just spoken to James, a very interesting conversation with him. Check that out, what it's like to mature, to age in Europe, and I'm going to be talking to my friends Bob and Viv, who I saw at the weekend. We were partying, and I think they had quite an interesting time since then, driving around Portugal for one reason and another. So let's give a nice big round of applause and bring them on the screen. Hola, bom dia, tudo bem?
Howdy.
Tudo bem.
Well, it seems like only 2 days, a day. In fact, we met yesterday for a bit of
Yes. Yes.
a hangover-y type lunch yesterday, or brunch.
Yes.
I wasn't on the best of form. Quite the hangover after Saturday.
Yeah, it happens to the best.
Thank you so much, you guys, for coming down from the north to see us at our solstice party, our gathering that we have on the third Saturday of the month. Did you have a good time?
We had a wonderful time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's great to see everybody and hear all the karaoke, and always enjoy hearing Terry sing.
Yeah.
You
And
and
dance,
Terry
right?
sing together.
Watching Terry dance is
Terry dancing
inspirational.
is just,
I don't know where his energy comes from, but
He-
one of the things that I leaned over and told Viv at one point watching him dance was I've got it, because I'm since I didn't grow up dancing at all, I'm very rigid, and I said it's flow. He just flows, and then I noticed everybody on the dance floor, it's flow.
Yeah.
It's just talk about being in the moment. I watch people being in the moment. When I step out on a dance floor, I'm not very much in the moment. I don't flow.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it, Bob, and that's why I think I've positioned myself behind the decks, and in a position of control, rather. I like to sway and tap my foot, but the whole idea of complete exposure out on the dance floor is still.
that's what Bob likes to do: sway and tap his foot.
Yeah. I think we've got rhythm and we're feeling it, aren't we? But that last step of getting out there and just surrendering to the music.
We were out there a few times. Viv is, she can go back. I mean, she's got it. I just know.
And there is a male-female divide, it would appear, there as well. It does seem like women are more able to just like let go and lose themselves on the dance floor.
You have to embrace the dance like nobody's watching, and
Yes,
and there's no one else there.
And I think, to be fair, we have got quite a good atmosphere for that, haven't we? Like, we're singing, listening, we're dancing like nobody's watching, we're drinking like nobody's
right.
It's quite the evening. So would you recommend it to others to make the pilgrimage to Sao Martinho?
Oh yes, I think everybody should go.
And we stayed at what's the name of the motel?
Right next door.
Albergaria San Pedro. We're in the cocktail bar of the hotel above us, the Albergaria, and that's a good deal.
It's great to be able to just go upstairs and go to bed.
We stayed there
the first time. Last time
February.
There.
And it's basic, it's
nice.
It's very nice.
Very nice people. They give you a great breakfast.
That's what I was going to say. The proprietors are fantastic, and the breakfast buffet is amazing.
Yes, Rodrigo and his family are lovely, and
highly recommend it.
One of the best views, that breakfast room looking out over the bay. It's incredible as well, isn't it?
Yeah, phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
All right, well, we'll stay in the Far East here, because we are talking about karaoke again. A lot of people say, "Oh, I could never do that," but actually, people get quite into it, don't they? And
they do.
Strangers, we have Portuguese people coming and joining us and really getting into it. Did you notice how there were Portuguese passers-by looking in the windows, thinking, "What on earth is going on in there?
What are they doing?"
Yes, And then I would wave to some of them, and they would like
Yeah.
turn and walk away.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
others would be like,
Oh, he saw me.
me? I can come in? Yes, come in, please come in. And then some of those, it was like a distillation process, wasn't it? By the end of the evening, some of those sort of brave, curious souls were actually singing and dancing.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was terrific. I mean, by the after 11, it was as many Portuguese and French as it was English speakers.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, and I had to
So
try out my Portuguese. I was doing jokes in French and Portuguese as well as English. I mean,
Yeah.
I say jokes. People were laughing. It might have been at me rather than with me, very very
No,
possibly.
I'm sure it
But
wasn't.
great fun to
Yeah.
have that international crowd in there in our little
It
town.
was. And that's part of why we're in Europe is to just get a broader perspective of life.
Yes.
Just to enjoy and experience and learn and grow. And so anytime I'm in an environment with the multiple cultures, it just it's fascinating. So
Yes, and the youngsters, the lovely connection between age groups and generations. By the end of the evening, it was a really big group of young people who I think I think in England it would have been like, oh God, get these old people out of here. We're trying to have a party, right?
Yeah.
They joined in as well. This lovely
did
group.
they? Because
They were coming in as we were going
we
out.
left. Yeah.
So
They said,
we
can we do this as well? One girl came up and said, can we do this? It's like, yeah, of course you can. And
Yeah, good.
they then started
Good.
talking to an older Portuguese couple who they weren't related to. This couple came from Mafra, and they said, what you're doing here is amazing. This is such good fun. So you had these youngsters from the town, I think, and then this couple from Mafra who just stood there and was singing and swaying to the music, and eventually started singing as well. It was really, really lovely as I think back
Wonderful.
now. My memories of it are a little bit
by that time of night, we were all kind of fuzzy.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, this is the last one now. And my kids came, and it was like, they just don't believe this is the last one now anymore. I've broken that. I think we did the 10 encores before we could finally go.
Yeah. Well, you'd already done 3 by the time we left about midnight.
This is the last one. This is the last one. Yeah, it was incredible.
We'll never trust it again that this is the last
That's why my kids are never going to believe that. Right, so brilliant night. And as I say, staying in the Far East, karaoke, the great Japanese phenomenon that people seem to like doing here as well. And on to Chinese food. Us strangers, we do like a restaurant recommendation, don't we? And I think you were attracted by the invitation of some Chinese in Rio Mayor. How was it?
Yes. Oh, it was delicious.
Goodness, I've got to look it up so I get the name right.
Okay.
It was. I'll let you talk
good.
about it a little bit. I'm going to look it up because I tell you what. Oh, here it is. Restaurante. I'll put it in the chat. Restaurante Chinese Rio Oriente.
Okay.
It's in Rio Mayor, and the multiple plates.
We just we went with Dan and Sarah, and we just ordered different things, and then we all had
shared them. Yeah,
we all shared them. Yes. A couple of appetizers, and everything was just delicious. We ate every bit of it.
Bottle and cost wise, a bottle of wine. And let's see, we had sweet sour shrimps. We had chicken served on a pineapple bowl.
It was beautiful.
With pineapple, sweet sour. We had a beef dish. We had noodles. We had rice, and it was total for 4 of us was under 50 euros.
No.
Yeah.
We
It
had
was
spring
amazing.
rolls. We had wontons.
Yeah, we did have spring rolls. Spring rolls, wontons. Yeah.
Good heavens, right.
Highly recommend. The staff's very friendly. And they even worked with us when we called them to ask where our phone was.
Yes, I left my phone somewhere.
Yes,
I had never done before.
Okay, this is really helpful. So we've got Rio Orient, the Chinese restaurant in in Rio Mayor, which is worth. Did you have a little wander around Rio Mayor as well?
We
was that the
did
first-
not.
Well,
We
we
drove
had
around
a
some.
shop. We had a
Yeah.
shop owner
Oh, we
open
did.
especially for us.
Sarah saw a pair of shoes she wanted to try on, but he was closed, but he was in there. So we walked around the other side of the building where the door was, and we were just gonna say, sorry, we'll see you later. Didn't mean to disturb, but he said, no, come in. So I was determined not to buy shoes because I had just gotten rid of 5 pair that were completely trashed. So I didn't buy any shoes, but I did find a purse I wanted.
Very good. Did she buy the shoes? Did Sarah buy the shoes?
She
Yes,
did.
she did.
Yeah,
She
she
did.
did.
Yeah.
Not the ones that drew her in, but
Yeah,
she
they didn't
bought
have
a
those in her
couple
size.
pair, I think.
I think she bought
Very
some
good.
pairs.
He has 4 stores. He has, and now I gotta look up the name for him, Da Bene or something. I'll look it up.
Sapatario.
Da Bene.
Bene,
I'll look
I
it
think.
up.
Sapatario de Ben.
He has 2 in Alcabasa.
Zapateria.
Yeah.
Correct. Muito bem.
I think it's Zapateria.
2 in
That's right.
Alcobaso, 1 in Rio Mar, and 1 in Benedita. And we found out that's where he lives. So part of the phone story.
I took my
So,
phone out to see if it would fit in the side pocket because I don't like to put it in there because it always slides to the bottom. So I like to keep it on the outside, zipped up in the side pocket. And it fit. And apparently when I took it out, I laid it down. And so we get, I don't know what, 20, 30 kilometers outside town. And Bob goes, where's your phone? I said, oh, I'm sure it's in my purse. It wasn't. So we're panicking. It's like, it must be at the restaurant. So we call the restaurant. The guy that answered didn't speak English at all. And we were trying to use Portuguese to tell him the telefono and telemóvel.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting it. So I said, wait, find my phone. You find my phone.
Yeah, Apple.
And it worked wonderfully. It led us right to his front door. And the man in the shoe store had it. The man who owns the shoe store had it. And I was just sure I'd never see it again. And then I saw it start to move because I was tracking it and going back. It's like,
So as we're
still
driving,
there. It's still
the
there.
phone's moving.
And then the phone starts to move. And it's like, oh, no.
Somebody stole it.
It's on its way. It's on its way to another part of the world. Maybe.
But no, he took it home, and we hesitantly went up and rang his bell, and he was more glad to see us than we were to see him. He was a delightful man.
He just lit when he opened the door and saw us standing there. He
was so excited that we'd come to find the phone.
So
This is the man, the shoe shop man.
The shoe shop man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Special shout. We need some sort of award, don't we? Although that, it might seem a bit patronizing because for us it's an amazing thing, isn't it? Because again, we make our own cultural comparison, don't we?
We do.
I'm thinking like English people are sometimes a bit cynical and negative. And I'm thinking like, the shoe shop owner's going to be like, oh, for God's sake. Like, it's Sunday afternoon. It's like, what is wrong with you people? It's Sunday afternoon. I've got better things to do than be giving you your phone back and rah, rah.
No, he was so happy that we found him, and he said the next day he had a guy coming over that knew about the phones and things, and he was going to try to find us the next day, but it was locked and he couldn't get in it. So
okay. So there's a few things in here. First and foremost, I mean, we are constantly, and we shouldn't be as well, really, in a way, but like surprised, delighted, and appreciative of our Portuguese fellow countrymen.
Yes,
because if we might, for being so kind and just so uncynical about these things. Genuinely delighted to help.
Yes.
They are.
To them, it's just what you do. Someone loses something and you can help them find it. You do.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful. And Apple Find My Phone works. So if you lose your phone in Portugal, that technology is great. I mean, I remember finding my phone in the UK on a golf course. It fell out of my golf bag. And I tracked it down on a golf course. It is an amazing technology, isn't it? So it's
yes.
And the accuracy of pointing the phone and seeing the scan move and literally walking to within I think when we rang his doorbell, we were within 10 feet, 15 feet, because he just went to the next room, grabbed the phone, brought it out. So it's that accurate.
And so you install it on both of your phones, and then you register Viv's phone on your phone and vice versa, so that when it went missing, you're on the same kind of Apple account, and it can be found that way.
Yeah, yeah. It's very helpful.
On that note as well, I remember when my phone fell out recently in San Martinho. I was walking with the dogs, and I sat on a rock, and it fell out of my pocket on a cliff top up locally. And as it turned out, somebody handed it into the Welsh bar because it was it's like, okay, that's a focal point everybody knows. And I still haven't met this lady. I think her name's Fanny. She's a Dutch lady, and she was leaving the country, I think, to go on holiday, but dropped it there and then put in a local Facebook group. If you dropped a phone at Grallia, it's in the Welsh bar, which is fantastic.
That's great.
What you something you mentioned there, Viv, is the phone was locked. So when people find phones now and they're locked, and they should be, shouldn't they? Because there's all sorts of things on there. They can't help you necessarily because they can't get into the phone and see the photos and see if they recognize the person. So that's another recommendation for people, right? Is to lock it because of all the things. And I was glad I did as well, because nobody could get into my phone when I dropped it.
Right.
The worst case scenario was it was going to be a paperweight for somebody because they couldn't get in. But having found it, I could unlock it and get back in. So would you recommend that, locking it up?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's too much information in there to just leave it open to everybody.
Yeah.
But we did figure out one snag in the system is if I had called the phone, if Bob had called the phone and he'd answered it, it would have been open.
Yes.
We're gonna dig into that a little bit and see what we can learn.
I don't know if there's a way to lock it immediately after a phone call or
even answering a text.
It opens the phone. Yeah.
Where at least on ours, the way they're currently set. So we're going to dig into that security.
That we can tighten it up a little.
Just one thing leads to another, doesn't it? Okay, well that is an interesting consideration. On the matter of phones, we were in Sao Martinho out at the Festa probably 2 weeks ago, and the phone started ringing, and we thought, well, that's just somebody near us. We found out the phone that was ringing was actually in Mrs. M's bag. And she picked up someone else's phone.
No.
And they were trying to find it?
In the bar that we were at. So I answered it. I said, hola, putar. And you know when you're a bit panicked, it's harder to remember your Portuguese, isn't it? In a panic situation.
Yeah, it's very.
Hola, putar. Carlos. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't speak Portuguese. I falo pouco Portuguese, but can you speak English? And it's like, yes, this Pedro from the bar. You've got my phone. But he was really pleased as well. It's like, oh, it's you, Carl. Great, fantastic. I said, Luis is just going to bring it back to you in just a moment. And we were all laughing about it. But yeah, so all phones look the same now, don't they? Like cars, modern cars, modern phones, they all look the same.
Yeah.
So a bit of phone security if you ever find yourself in that difficulty. I haven't checked in with you about the north. What's going on? Must be party time up there. Is it still the big year of? We had that yet for the big party celebration for Ponte Lima?
Oh, the 900-year-old celebration.
It's still going on. Part of it. It's for the whole year.
Going.
It's about over. It's been about a year. So.
Right.
No, it started April this year.
Oh, April. Well, we have a long time to go then.
Hit the 900 years. Yes. And they, we just had Vaca dos Cordes, which is a type of running of a bull. That was this past week.
And we had a new statue of Henry, the first king of Portugal. Yeah. He has a big, magnificent statue. His mother has always had one, because she gave us the charter, and now we have one of him as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, those names again. Which king was that?
The King Henrik.
Henrik.
Yes.
The first one.
The first. Yeah.
The very first king.
Okay, I think that's. I will look it up so that we can.
I don't know.
Yeah, boy, we didn't come very well prepared. We don't have our notes this morning.
No, not a problem. Afonso I, the king of
Afonso, that's what it was.
Okay. Also known as Afonso Henriques.
That's where that came from. Okay.
So
Yeah.
it just sounds like you're going with the cultural flow
We
these
are.
days, seeing what comes up and following your noses and having a good time
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We had
across the country, heading down.
we had the Viña Verde Festival
That was
last
a week ago.
weekend,
Yeah.
and Anna Mora was here to sing. So
Very good.
yeah, we've had some
yeah.
good stuff happening.
We were, of course, down there this weekend. There was a big horse event here. There are
Yes.
a lot of horse events through the
There'll
summer.
be a big horse event July 5th, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So
The
there's
jumpers, and those.
Yeah.
I like them.
yeah.
Yes, because people think of Golgari, don't they? I know in Caldash we've just had a horse event, which was
Mhm.
quite amazing, and Pontelima has quite a special. Is it a dressage sort of focused event? Or is it-
Yes.
No,
yes.
no,
Well,
not the
this-
dressage. I'm not crazy about
Okay.
dressage. I like the jumpers because they're free to do what horses do.
But they do have dressage events as well.
They do have
Yeah,
dressage
yeah.
events if you like it. Yes,
And they have working horse events as well.
they do.
Uh,
Yeah, and they have the carts where the guy hangs on the back
The
and kind of
racing.
steers it. The cart racing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
The horse
Yes.
run. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've got a guy on the seat with the reins,
Yeah.
and then the fella in the back. It's like the motorcycle three-wheeled, sidecar motorcycle racing where the one guy is
Yes.
doing all
Leaning
the,
one way and
okay.
leaning the other. Well,
They
there's
do
a
that
guy
with these
holding on to
horse-
the back of this cart and
and he's-
swinging it one way or the other.
Yes, so you can't spin the tires like in a car to drift. So the guy in the back of the horse-drawn cart is doing the drifting with his body weight.
Very entertaining.
Incredible. What could possibly go wrong? That sounds so dangerous. Better to be watching with a glass of Viña Verde. Was that a good event? Did you try a few different glasses of Viña Verde? Did you find a new favorite?
We didn't go this year. We had a birthday party,
Yeah.
and but yes, there's always good wine there. We went last year. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
introduced to the wines from the Monsal region.
Monsal?
Yes.
Yeah, they're very good.
Fantastic,
Laurinian.
really
Yeah.
good.
Very good.
And so yeah, we were there last year. There are so many things happening across the country, really,
Absolutely.
that and you just got to pick and choose, let go of the FOMO,
Yeah.
because you can run yourself ragged,
You
and
can't
and it's all fun, but it's like, oh my.
talk about aging in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's some great advice to conclude on today. Is wherever you go in Portugal at the moment, if you were just to follow your nose around the country, you'd end up at a sardine festival, a wine
Yes.
festival, some live music.
Always.
It's a great time for that, especially at the moment. But pretty much all year, and get rid of the FOMO because you're not going to be able to do it all here.
No.
No,
So that's a really great little lesson.
do all that you can though.
Yeah.
It's more important than sleeping.
What's more than important?
It's more important than sleeping to go out to the festures because they don't start till 10 at night. So you're
in
out
that
till
regard.
2.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was
you're
gonna
out till
say,
2
I
o'clock in the
like my
morning.
sleep.
That's
Okay.
my final question then. No names here, no judgment, but certain people who are with us on Saturday are not acclimatized to the Portuguese culture of going out,
No, they're not.
and went home a little earlier.
Yes.
What's your recommendation for foreigners to get used to the Portuguese life? I mean, we start our karaoke disco at 8 to cater.
Right.
Which is early, really.
Well, it's
It
to
is.
accommodate the crowd.
It is because it's the only disco in Portugal where you can be home in bed by midnight.
Right.
I don't think there's anything else like it. But
Right.
you sound a little bit better attuned and acclimatized to Portuguese partying. What's your secret?
Well, it took us about 6 months because when we got here, we were missing everything because we were on a schedule of getting up at,
I was
I
on
never got
schedule
up
at 5
early.
in the morning was normal.
And then he wanted to be in bed by 9, and we kept missing everything. We'd see
Everything.
it advertised, and we'd look at the little tourist booklet, and it's like, well, it's over. It already happened.
Yeah.
So I said, we're going to have to start staying up late.
We're
We're just going to have to.
we shifted our
So-
sleeping schedule to accommodate
We did.
the culture.
There you
We
go.
moved here to be part of the
Mhm.
culture. So we have adjusted.
So we can't go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
We can some nights, but definitely not on the weekends.
Yeah.
Sounds so early. 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Excellent advice, you guys. Thank you. Always lovely talking to you. Great to see you at the weekend. And we'll see you again next month. Boa semana.
Okay.
Okay.
Applause. Just guys.
Bye.
You have a great day. Great week.
Have a
Bye for
good
now.
week.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need